So Wii Sports is one of the greatest games ever created, and this year it turns 18 years old. Yeah, the Wii came out November 19th, 2006, so that's been a while, and it obviously launched with one of the greatest games of all time, Wii Sports, so let's talk about it. So initially, people were extremely skeptical on the idea of the Wii. It was underpowered, and the gimmick wasn't really selling people, so Wii Sports really had one main job, and that was to get people to understand the gimmick of the Wii and to start to think it was like kind of a cool idea. The Wii had a lot of things not going for it, right? So like the Wiimotes aren't even a controller and you have to be active while gaming basically, and that whole concept was really new and bizarre to gamers at the time. Wii Sports needed to sell people on the idea of the Wii, and it needed to get gamers to understand that this could be a fun new way to control. And it did that in spades. And now the beauty of this game is that both casuals and hardcore fans alike can really have a great time. You play as your Miis, which is a very specific Wii avatar of yourself, and obviously you know what Miis are. A lot of people at the time were like, what the hell are these? But now that we've got them in, people get super upset if you can't play as them in the new Mario Kart and things like that. So everybody's pretty accustomed to the Miis at this point. And the Miis themselves have a ton of personality, and they only exemplify that personality in Wii Sports, something that I think Switch Sports entirely misses. The sports buddies are nowhere near to as close as the charm that the Miis have, and it's honestly annoying how little faith Nintendo has in these original characters that they created, because the Miis are just oozing with charm and fun and all sorts of shit, but I guess we'll get into that in a little bit. But jumping into the game itself, it's pretty simple. It's essentially a minigame collection where you play different sports, and when I say play, I mean you actually play them. I mean, it feels like you're playing tennis, bowling, golf, boxing, and baseball. Each of these games has genuinely crafted to make it easy to pick up and play. Like, if you understand the sport in real life, you'll understand exactly what you need to do in-game. So jumping into tennis first, you just need to hit the ball by swinging the Wii remote. You just bah, and then that's it. And it's just about timing after that, and that is really... That simplicity makes Wii Sports so easy to pick up and play at any point and makes it so fun for anybody. It's just easy to be decent at it when you first play it, and it's just kind of like this great equalizer because in most ways, no matter how you play, if you're all the time or you pick it up once in a while, the skill level remains pretty similar, which means the competition can always be pretty top-notch. Bowling is a great one, and it's probably gone on to be the most iconic of the sports from the original game. It's simple because the rotation of the Wii remote just changes the spin of the ball and where it ends up, and you just hold down that B button until you need to release it to throw the ball forward, and that leads to some super funny little moments because sometimes, you let go of it too early and it flies behind you and hits the Miis in the back, and that charm pops out because the Miis are like, what the hell's going on? And they make those little goofy faces, and it's really funny. And so that is something that's entirely missing from Switch Sports, is that personality, that creativity that Nintendo did with these little moments that really add up to make things as iconic as they are. And we'll get into another sport that does that in a second. Golf is one that's really classic, but I was never honestly a huge fan. But I can't deny that the motion of hitting the golf swing with the Wii remote is iconic, and I really think that's a good time. Baseball pretty much slaps in every way. It just takes the Miis from your library and throws them into a game, and you can have great grandma or maybe your cousin that came over one time and he spent like an hour making his Mii and everybody was annoyed, but now he's in your baseball game, you know what I'm saying? And there's two main things that you do. You hit the ball by swinging, of course, or you pitch it. And you pitch the Wii remote. It's super easy. This did lead to a lot of broken TVs at the time because people were throwing the shit out of those Wii remotes and letting go, and they didn't have the wrist strapped in, which is, a shame. But at the end of the day, again, it goes into making one of the most fun games, I think, of the collection. And it's just really funny. There's a lot of moments in it that are iconic where it's like home run or it's out of the park or, the Mii catches it and it's like, you're out. It's just like there's so many iconic little moments about it. The announcer guy is a lot of fun. And again, that personality really shines through in these games because the Miis don't even have legs. They just hop from place to place, and it's just funny. It's very, very funny. There's a lot of charm here. And that is entirely, like I said, again, missing in Nintendo Switch Sports. I know they recently added basketball after my whole entire video about how, they need to change and how they need to get better and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, they really listen to this channel, so please just bring back normal Wii Sports Remastered on Switch. That's all I want. Now, the last one is boxing. It's definitely my favorite. It's more complex of the bunch, I would say. You need a nunchuck, and then you dip and dodge and throw some punches and stuff, and it's really fantastic. Also, this one's really cool because it's sort of like the single player version of this is really fun, which is shocking because most of these games really shine in co-op, but single player Wii Sports Boxing is a banger. You basically go on this whole, expedition, and then at the end you fight Matt. And Matt is a unit. Matt, in of himself, that single Mii, that default Mii, has gone on to become such an iconic thing, such a meme in internet culture, and you cannot tell me that there is a single, sports buddy, default sports buddy that you know the name of. There isn't, because they're not iconic. They're not special like Matt was. And, the charm again, it's there. Also, when I went home for Christmas, I played a little Wii boxing with the homies, and I absolutely destroyed. I wrecked. I'm pretty okay at video games, but I'm not, amazing. But Wii Sports Boxing, I can mess it up. I can dip and dutch and dodge all over the place. Also, the way it tracks your arms, you can throw an uppercut in there, and it sometimes gets it right. You can throw some side punches in there. You can block in front of your face, move around and stuff. And it really, I think that's so impressive that the Wii, even back then, could know where you were in those situations and stuff like that. And so, boxing is definitely my favorite. It's a pain in the ass that it's not brought back in Switch Sports, because even if they wanted to make that so vanilla and so boring, they wouldn't take out the fun of it because it's boxing. The resurgence of creator boxing and all that kind of shit, that has made it such a bigger deal now, so that throwing that in Switch Sports is crazy. I'm so shocked that they haven't done that. Hypothetically they could, because they just added basketball, so maybe they're going crazy and they're adding a bunch of new sports, which would be awesome, but I really doubt it. Also, it's a little late, right, Nintendo? So, those are all the sports, but if you get bored of the sports, there's this really cool thing called training mode, and it's basically a bunch of mini games of each sport. So, you get these punching bags. If you want to practice boxing, you can practice, some stuff with tennis and all of this stuff, and there's just different modes that give you more things to do. There's more things to do in this game than just the base sports themselves because of that training mode, and it's very fun. And if you ever get bored, you need some new content, there it is right over there. I think that the thing about this game that people often overlook is that it is kind of packed with content. There are so many different sports, obviously, with those 5 different sports that I just talked about it, but on top of which those training modes just add hours and hours of fun, plus they can get you a little bit better at understanding, the mechanics that go into each of the sport mini games, which is super, super cool. But yeah, that's pretty much Wii Sports. To a nutshell, it's a banger, and I cannot believe that it hasn't been brought back in a better way. I really like that we're going in the way of bringing it to new consoles and stuff with Nintendo Switch Sports, which was a really good try, but they need to understand that 50% of that game is the charm and the fun that the Miis bring, and without that, it loses a lot, okay? Switch Sports could be an easy 10 out of 10 for me, but since, there's washed of any charm, it's like a 6.5. It's a good game still-ish, it works pretty well, and I'll play it occasionally with the homies if I ever want to, but say it with me, everybody, down with the sports buddies. They need to be abolished. We do not need them, and we need to bring back the Miis. But as you can see, I'm not in my normal space. Why is that? I'm going to Too Many Games in Philly. I'm there right now. I will be there all this weekend. So if you're watching this, when it comes out, check it out. Go to Too Many Games, make a little cheeky appearance. Say what's up. I'll be here the whole time. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in this one. It's a banger. It's a vibe. It's a good time. I will see you over there. Thank you for checking it out. Goodbye. We had to take a nighttime flight, and we took a 4-hour bus to get here. It was a trek, but we're here. Goodbye.